Hey, what is going on, guys? In today's video, I want to have a conversation about the pump shotgun nerf that came in for Fortnite Project Era Season 8. Now, while I think this nerf is really good for the game and it's just made it so much nicer to play, it's honestly had basically no impact on what weapons you're going to take, and we'll talk about that in today's video. We're going to first talk about the statistics, we'll then talk about how it basically made no impact on what guns you're carrying, and finally, how it improved the game as a whole. So let's talk about the statistics. It won't take long. It's a very simple nerf. So the green and blue pump have received no changes, but the purple and gold pump got a pretty noticeable draw speed increase. Previously, when I had measured the draw speed of the purple gold pump in Season 7, they drawed in just over a third of a second, which is much faster than the green and blue pump, which drawed in about 450 milliseconds. So the purple and gold drawed about a tenth of a second quicker. That sounds like nothing. Tenth of a second, whatever. That's actually huge, because what it meant is that when you made an edit play, you were able to draw it incredibly quickly. If your enemy was trying to pre-fire you and you had a spaz, very difficult to pull off as the window was very narrow to hit that pre-fire before they dropped their gun and were able to fire. But now it's been changed to match the green and blue pump. So it's been nerfed by about 100 milliseconds, tenth of a second, to about 450 milliseconds. What that means is now the purple and gold pump, it's still a pretty quick draw for a shotgun. Like under half a second is still pretty good. But what that means now is it's no longer this ridiculously quick draw. You have to just spend a little longer waiting, so there's a little bit more of an opportunity for your opponent to react, or if your opponent has the pump, for you to react. So it's definitely a noticeable nerf. Now the reason why I say it has basically no impact on what shotgun you're going to carry is because the pump shotgun is still significantly better than the Tack. Well, I think there could be sort of an argument for, green pump versus blue Tack. Kind of. Still, when I did a poll, 87% of you are taking the green pump over the blue Tack. And once we get to the blue pump, it was like over 90% were taking the blue pump over the blue Tack. So it doesn't really matter if the spaz has been nerfed. You're still going to take the spaz in every scenario you did before, which was pretty much every single game that you can find it. So it's not particularly impactful in that way, but I think this is overall a great change for some other reasons I want to talk about now. I think one of the most frustrating things about the purple and gold pump being so much better than the blue is that it just created this annoying amount of RNG over looting. Well, yes, higher rarity guns absolutely should be better. Think like the Scar, it's better than the blue AR, definitely, but it's not a ridiculous jump. With the spaz, it was such a massive advantage that it just meant whoever got the spaz randomly would just automatically get this huge advantage, and it meant a lot of fights were down to who got the better pump shotgun. And that's not particularly it's not really about skill there. It's just about who happened to get lucky to get a spaz and now has so many more options in terms of the way they can make edit plays, right? I just don't think that was a particularly good thing to have, as just inflating RNG I don't think is a particularly good idea. And the second thing is I think the spaz in the previous state was just completely busted, right? Why should the shotgun that has so much reward, being able to one-shot your opponent, have the lowest risk by pulling so incredibly fast? It just didn't make sense. I think the spaz is rivaling some of the strongest weapons that have ever existed in this game. It could keep up with double pump. It could keep up with launch combat shotgun. Probably would argue the launch combat is a little bit better, but it can at least keep up with that, which is pretty ridiculous. It could keep up with the drum gun at launch, the compact at launch. You see, the problem is that this gun was just simply too powerful, and I think toning it down, even though it hasn't opened up meta diversity in terms of what gun you take, I think it was still a really good change, and I'm really happy to see this one come through. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.